Hello students, today we will discuss numericals based on chapter number 2, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance. So let's start it. Question is, if the parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates, each plate has an area of this much, 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter square, and the distance between the plate is 3 millimeter. So area of the plates is given and the distance between them, that is D, is given, that is 3 millimeter. Calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. If this capacitor is connected to a 100 volt supply, what is the charge on each plate of the capacitor? Okay, so first of all we have to calculate the capacitance and then we have to calculate charge, that is Q. Now we know this thing, for a parallel plate capacitor, what is the formula? C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. Epsilon naught is constant. A is given, that is 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter square. D is given, that is 3 millimeter. We will convert it into meter. So it will be 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Okay. And V is given 100 volt. So first of all, we will calculate capacitance by this expression. So I think this is clear. Okay. So in place of epsilon naught, this is the value of epsilon naught. It is written. This is what? A, area, 6 into 10 to the power minus 3, and this is distance. So when we will solve it, you will have this value, and this 10 to the power minus 12 could be written as picofarad. So this is the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. Now they are asking us to calculate charge also. Now we know this thing V is equals to Q by C, or we know this thing C is equals to Q by V. So from here, what will be Q? Q will be V into C. Now C we have calculated, and V is how much? 100. So when this C, this much, will be multiplied by 100, the answer will be this. The answer will be this. So 100 into 17.71 into 10 to the power minus 12. So when we will solve it, the charge value will be equals to this, 1.771 into 10 to the power minus 9 coulomb. Next question is, a 600 picofarad capacitor is charged by a 200 volt supply. It is then disconnected from the supply and is connected to another uncharged 600 picofarad capacitor. How much electrostatic energy is lost in this process? So initially they are talking about one capacitor, its capacitance is given, then it is connected to another uncharged capacitor. Then what they are saying, that in this whole process, how much electrostatic energy is lost. So now we can calculate what electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor. We know the formula half CV square. Now C is given to us, that is 600 picofarad, and V is given to us, that is 200 volt. So simply we have to substitute these values in this formula. So after solving it, finally the value will be 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 5 joule. So this is the energy of the capacitor. Now this capacitor is disconnected from the supply and then it is connected to another capacitor whose capacitance is how much? 600 picofarad. So now we have a combination in which two capacitors are there. So what we are supposed to do, we are supposed to calculate its equivalent capacitance. Okay, so its equivalent capacitance we can easily calculate by this. 1 upon C dash is equals to 1 upon C plus 1 upon C, because both the capacitors, they have the same capacitance, that is 600 picofarad. So in place of C we have written 600, again in place of this C we have written 600. Then we will solve it. So finally what will be the value of the equivalent capacitance? It will be 300 picofarad. Now we can calculate the electrostatic energy of the combination. So again we will use the same formula, that is half CV square, but now in place of E we will write E dash and in place of C we will write C dash, because this is the new capacitance and the energy will also change. Okay, so it will be half, and what is the value of the new capacitance? It is 300 picofarad. So this C dash is replaced by 300, voltage will be 200 only. So when we will solve it, so finally what we will have, the new energy will be 0.6 into 10 to the power minus 5 joule. So what will be the loss in energy? It will be E minus E dash, initial minus final. So finally what we will have, 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 5 minus 0.6 into 10 to the power minus 5. So when you will solve it, so finally what will be the value? It will be 0.6 into 10 to the power minus 5 or we can also write it in this way, 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 joule. So this much amount of energy is lost in the process which was given in the question. So I think this question is clear. Now the next question is, a spherical conducting shell of inner radius r1 and outer radius r2. So they are talking about a sphere, a spherical conducting shell, and its inner radius is r1 and outer radius is how much? r2. And it has a charge capital Q. Actually capital Q is not visible over here, but capital Q charge is there. Okay, on its surface, fine. Now, if charge Q is placed, if a small charge Q is placed at the center of the shell, what is the surface charge density on the inner and the outer surface of the shell? Okay, now surface charge density, it means they are talking about sigma. And we know this thing, what is sigma? It is charge upon area. Okay, so I think this is clear. So, see, charge placed at the center of the shell is plus Q. Okay, now we know this thing that if plus Q charge is placed at the center, because of induction, minus Q charge will be induced on the inner surface of the shell. First of all, we are calculating what? Surface charge density on the inner surface of the shell. Okay, we are talking about the inner surface. So on the inner surface, how much charge will be induced? Minus Q. And if minus Q charge is induced, and if the radius, if the inner radius is how much? R1. So what will be the surface charge density? It will be minus Q upon 4 pi R1 square, because on the inner surface, how much charge is there? Minus Q. And what will be the surface area of the inner surface whose radius is R1? It will be 4 pi R1 square. So I think this thing is clear. Now what they want us to calculate? Surface charge density on the outer surface of the shell. So for the outer surface of the shell, what will be the surface area? It will be 4 pi R2 ka square. So I think this thing is clear, because for the outer surface, what is the radius? R2. So the surface area will be 4 pi R2 square. Now we know this thing already, how much charge is there on the surface of the shell? It is capital Q, which is already given in the equation. Now we have already discussed that plus Q charge is at the center. On the inner surface, minus Q charge will be induced. So how much charge will be induced on the outer surface? It will be plus Q. Okay, and capital plus Q charge is already there. So what will be the total charge? Q plus Q. I think this thing is clear, because at the center plus Q charge is there. Because of this charge, on the inner surface, minus Q charge will get induced, but on the outer surface, plus Q charge will get induced. So what will be the total charge on the outer surface of the sphere? It will be Q plus Q upon 4 pi R2 square. So I think this thing is clear. So these are the surface charge density for the inner surface as well as for the outer surface. Now, next question we have is the electric field inside a cavity with no charge 0, even if the shell is not spherical but has any irregular shape. Explain. Actually what they are saying that even if the shell is not spherical, it is of any other irregular shape. So in that case, electric field inside the cavity will be 0 or not. The answer is very simple. If there is no charge, inside that shell, so what will be the electric field? Electric field will be 0 only, because we know this thing, they are talking about a conducting shell, and inside the conductor electric field is 0, which we have already discussed. So I think the answer is clear. But what is written in the matter? Let's read that. So the electric field intensity inside a cavity is 0, even if the shell is not spherical and has any irregular shape. So take a closed loop such that the part of it lies inside the cavity along a field line, while the rest is inside the conductor. So the net work done by the field in carrying a test charge from a closed loop is 0, because the electric field inside the conductor is 0. So what is the moral of the story? Since the electric field inside the conductor is 0, therefore electric field inside a cavity will also be 0, even if the shell is not spherical or it has any irregular shape. So I think this question is clear. Next question we have, what is the area of the plate of a 2 farad parallel plate capacitor, given that the separation between the plates is 0.5 centimeter? So A we are supposed to calculate, C is given and D is given. Okay, so the question is very, very simple. See, capacitance is given 2 farad, distance is given 0.5 centimeter. If you will convert it into meter, it will be 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Now we know this thing. What is the formula for capacitance? It is epsilon naught A upon D. So what will be the value of A? It will be C into D upon epsilon naught. Okay, what is the value of C? It is 2. What is the value of D? It is 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 2. And what is the value of epsilon naught? It is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So when we will solve it, what is the value of area? It is how much? 1130 kilometers square, which is the, it is very large value. So what is the rest part of the equation? I have not read first. Right now, I will read. You will realize from your answer why ordinary capacitors are in the range of microfarad or less. Okay, however, electrolytic capacitor, they do have a much larger capacitance, 0.1 farad, because of very minute separation between the conductors. The thing is that they just want us to understand this thing, that why we use a smaller unit for capacitance, why we use microfarad or picofarad. The reason is this, because as in this question, the value of capacitance is given 2 farad and farad is the bigger unit. So how much answer we are getting? 1130 kilometers square, which is too large. So the area of the plate is too large. So to avoid this type of situation, capacitance is always taken in the range of microfarad. So I think this thing is clear to everyone. Next question we have. One second. Okay. A parallel plate capacitor is to be designed with a voltage reading 1 kilovolt. So they have given 1 kilovolt, or we can also say that 1000 volt, using a material of dielectric constant 3. So dielectric constant is given how much? 3. Dielectric strength is given 10 to the power 7 volt per meter. Now what is dielectric strength, which we have already discussed? Dielectric strength is the maximum electric field a material can tolerate without breakdown. That is, without starting to conduct electricity through partial ionization, which we have already discussed. So basically dielectric strength is nothing but electric field only. So for safety, we should like the field never to exceed, say, 10% of the dielectric strength. Now this is the condition they have given, that how much electric field should be there? It should be 10% of the dielectric strength. So what minimum area of the plate is required to have a capacitance of 50 picofarad? So area we are supposed to calculate, and capacitance value they have given how much? 50 picofarad. Okay. So now what all things they have given us, let's write that. See, they have given 1 kilovolt. 1 kilovolt means 1000 volt. Dielectric constant they have given 3. Dielectric strength they have given 10 to the power 7. Now in the question, what they have given that what should be the strength of the electric field? It should be 10% of 10 to the power 7. So when you will calculate this, 10% of 10 to the power 7, you will get this 10 to the power 6. So this is the value of E. Now one more thing they have given us. It is C. C is equals to 50 picofarad. In place of pico, we are supposed to write 10 to the power minus 12. Now we have to calculate what area. Now area we can easily calculate by this formula. C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. Okay, but we don't have value of D. Okay, so how we can calculate the value of D? How we can calculate distance between the plates? We know this thing, E is equals to V upon D. Electric field is negative gradient of potential. Okay, so E is equals to V upon D. So what will be D? D will be V upon E. What is value of V? 1000. What is the value of E? 10 to the power 6. So when you will calculate it, the value of D will be 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Now we know this thing. For a parallel plate capacitor, what is the formula? C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. And if dielectric constant is given, it will be how much? C is equals to epsilon naught dielectric constant A upon D. Okay, where A is area, D is the distance, C is the capacitance. Okay, now we are supposed to calculate what? A. So what will be A? A will be C into D upon epsilon naught into dielectric constant. So that only is written over here. So what is the value of C? This much. What is the value of D? This much, which we have calculated. epsilon naught, we know the value. What is the value of dielectric constant? It is 3. So when we will solve it, the value of area will be 19 centimeter square. So I think this is clear that how we have calculated. Now next question is, define dielectric constant in terms of the capacitance of the capacitor. Okay, now we know this thing. What is dielectric constant? It is the ratio of the capacitance of a capacitor when the dielectric is placed between the plates to the capacitance of the capacitor when vacuum is there between the plates. So Cm upon C0 is equals to K. So I think this definition we know. Now, what is the second part of the question? On what factor does the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor with a dielectric depend? Now we know this thing. We know the expression of the capacitance. It is K epsilon naught A upon D. See, if nothing is there between the two plates, we simply write C is equals to A epsilon naught upon D. But if a dielectric is there, we need to multiply it by K. So this is the formula. So from here we can easily write that on what factors that is the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor depends. So from this expression, what we can write? It depends upon the area of the plate. Or we can say that it is directly proportional to area of the plates. It is inversely proportional to distance between the plates. It is directly proportional to the dielectric constant of the dielectric which is placed between the plates. And that's it. Okay, so I think this is clear. Now what is the second part of the question? Find the ratio of the potential differences that must be applied across the parallel and series combination of two identical capacitor so that the energy stored in the two cases becomes the same. So what is the condition they have given? That they are talking about two combination, both the combination parallel and series, and the condition is energy of in both the cases is same, and we need to calculate the ratio of their potential differences. So I think question is understood. So if we talk about, and they are talking about the capacitors of capacitance C only, both are having equal capacitance. Okay, so if we talk about the parallel combination first, what will be the equivalent capacitance? It will be C plus C. It will gives you how much? 2C. Now we will calculate equivalent capacitance for series combination. Okay, now for series combination we know this thing, how to calculate the equivalent capacitance. So it will be how much? C upon 2. Okay, now we will calculate energy for parallel combination, then we will calculate energy in series combination. So we will be using this formula, half CV square. So for parallel combination we have written UP half CP VP square. Okay, so in place of CP what we will write? 2C. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So finally what we will have? C VP square. Now we will calculate energy for series combination. So the formula will be half CS VS square. And how much is the equivalent capacitance for series combination? We have just calculated. It is C upon 2. So in place of CS we will write C upon 2. So it will be C VS square upon 4. Now what is the condition given? The energy should be same in both the cases. It means UP is equals to US. It is given in the equation. So in place of UP we will write C VP square. In place of US we will write C VS square upon 4. Now we need to calculate what? The ratio of their potential difference. It means we are supposed to calculate VP upon VS. So that's why we have written VP square upon VS square. The C and C will get cancelled. So here we'll have what? 1 upon 4. And this is the ratio of their squares. And if we want to calculate VP upon VS, so the square root of this will give you what? 1:2. So what is the answer? What is the ratio? 1:2. So I think this question is also clear. Now next question we have this. An air-filled capacitor is given a charge of 2 microcoulomb. Okay, so this is the value of charge is given, raising its potential to 200 volt. If on inserting a dielectric medium, its potential falls to 50 volt. Now we know this thing, potential will decrease, because we know this thing that when a dielectric medium is introduced between the two plates, its capacitance increases. And if its capacitance increases, its potential will definitely decrease. So initially the potential was 200 volt. After inserting dielectric medium, its potential is how much? 50 volt. So what is the dielectric constant of the medium? So now we know this thing. If we are writing K is equals to as the ratio of Cm upon C0, similarly in terms of potential we can write K. We know this thing, K will be equals to V upon V dash. So I think this thing is clear. So it will be the ratio of the potential when dielectric medium was not there to the potential when dielectric medium was there between the two plates of the capacitor? Okay, so what is V? Before insertion of dielectric medium, it is 200, and after insertion, what is the value of V? It is 50. So 200 by 50 will gives you what? 4. So this is the value of the dielectric constant, and we have calculated it with the help of the ratio of their potential. Okay, now second part of the equation is a conducting slab of thickness T is introduced without touching between the plates of the parallel plate capacitor separated by a distance D. Derive an expression for the capacitance of a capacitor. Okay, so they are talking about a conducting slab whose thickness is T, and if it is placed between the two parallel plate capacitor, between the two plates of a capacitor, then we have to derive an expression for the capacitance of the capacitor. Actually, we know this thing that for a parallel plate capacitor, when nothing is there, what is the value of the expression? C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D. Now, what they're asking us to derive, the expression for a conducting slab when introduced between the two plates. I think this is clear. So, for a parallel plate capacitor, when vacuum is there between the plates, C naught is given by epsilon naught A upon D. Okay, now. Okay, now these are the two plates. This is positively charged, this is negatively charged. The distance between them is D. And if a conducting slab of thickness T is introduced, now we know this thing, inside the conductor electric field is 0. So you just tell me one thing, that where this electric field exists now. See, if the thickness of the conducting slab is T and inside the conductor there is no electric field. Okay, so in which space electric field will exist? It will exist between D minus T. I think this thing is clear. So now we know this thing, that what is V? V is equals to epsilon naught D minus T. Okay, now we know one more thing, that between the two plates, we know this expression that how much is E? It is sigma upon epsilon naught. What is sigma? Surface charge density. Now in place of sigma, what we can write? Q upon A. So that's what is written, what? Q upon A epsilon naught. Now in this equation where we have written E is equals to, V is equals to E0 D minus T. So E0 could be replaced by this. So what we have written, Q upon A epsilon naught D minus T. So if V we have calculated, we can easily calculate capacitance. We know this thing, C is equals to Q upon V. So Q upon V, Q we have written as it is. In place of V, we have written this. So this Q and Q will get cancelled. So finally what we will have, C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D minus T. Okay. So if we will take out this D common from this, so it will gives you this A epsilon naught upon D into 1 minus T upon D. Now what is A epsilon naught upon D? It is C0. When nothing was there between the two plates. So this is the expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor when a conductor is placed between the two plates. So I think this is clear, and this we have already done. Okay. Now next we have this. Okay. A parallel plate capacitor with air between the plates has a capacitance of 8 picofarad. Capacitance, the value of capacitance is given. What will be the capacitance if the distance between the plates is reduced by half and the space between them is filled with a substance of dielectric constant 6? Okay, so actually when air was there, capacitance is 8 picofarad. Now two conditions they have given. If the distance is reduced by half, it means initially it was D, now it is D by 2, and the space between them is filled with a substance of dielectric constant 6, and a dielectric medium is also introduced whose dielectric constant is 6. Now what will be the new capacitance? Actually the value of the capacitance will change. Now we know this thing, that C is equals to epsilon naught A upon D when air is there between the two plates of the capacitor and the distance is D. Now according to the conditions given, the value of the capacitance will change. Now the distance will be D by 2 and the value of K is given how much? 6. So the new value of the capacitance will be C dash is equals to K dash upon epsilon naught A upon D dash. Okay. Now what is K dash? That is the value of dielectric constant. It is 6 epsilon naught A, and now distance is reduced by half, so it will be d by 2. So now this 2 will go in numerator, and it will be multiplied by 6, so it will be 12 into 6. It will gives you how much? 12. What will be left? Epsilon naught A upon D. Epsilon naught A upon D means what? The capacitance before the insertion of the dielectric constant, and which is how much? 8. So finally you'll have this. So 2 6 are 12 into 8 will gives you what? 96 picofarad. So this will be the capacitance between the plates when a dielectric is inserted between the plates and the distance is reduced